Colorado. Tonight on my YouTube channel, I have a great interview. I'm going to take this off. I think I've had enough oxygen. I'm doing an interview with Nova Tron. His real name is Danny, or Danielle, or Uncle Dan, or Dan's Man. And I had a wonderful discussion with him today. He tells me that he is suffering from some health problems and so couldn't come on our feed tonight. He says he is withdrawing from social media right now because he has some pretty big challenges. And he said it's been an awesome year for him and things are going better, but it's really been a challenge. I hope you do turn into the video. It's a very interesting video. It's part of the van life that a lot of people don't see. And that's part of what my channel is all about, is telling people about things that other people don't see. Little Nix is with me tonight, and she is just pitching a fit. Meow, meow. So she's quite the character. We have returned to the mountains in Colorado after being on the beach for a month in Texas. Meow. And she's really pitching a fit. I'll see if I can give you a view of her. Hello, Miss Nix. Hello, darling. She really wants my attention, and she has not adjusted well to life in an apartment or a condo. Hello, Nocturnal. Good to see you from Sacramento, California. She has not adjusted well at all from living in a van to living on the sticks and bricks. And of course, we're only going to be here shortly. But I thought she would really do better and she would really enjoy stretching her legs. But it turns out that she doesn't get the experience, she doesn't get the attention of Daddy that she was getting in the van. After all, we were out of the van 10 times a day, 15 times a day, on the leash, mostly on the leash, once in a while not. And so she doesn't get that here. I've tried to take her for walks on the leash and she's just petrified. Everybody where I am in Breckenridge, Colorado seems to have enormous dogs, just enormous. It's not just that they have dogs, the dogs are 5 feet tall. Yes, I'm exaggerating, but just slightly. And so she is just petrified of going out on the river walk and doing that kind of thing. And so I have to keep her entertained, and she's bitching right now. She really wants out. She has plenty to eat. I feed her very well, but unfortunately it's not enough tonight, and she's demanding that she get some additional attention. Of course, when we go out to the hallway, which I take her out off leash, she has to be supervised very well. Well, so getting back to tonight's video about Novatron, he is a guy who bought a bus, and he does digital music, and he puts on events at the various van meetings. And he's turned his bus into basically a soundstage and a cabaret. And I realize that most of us at my age, I'm an older guy, we were looking for quiet and no music and those kinds of things. But the reality is that not everybody wants that. Some people really are still into the party scene and they want to celebrate being out there. And this guy did a fabulous job of converting his bus into that. The other thing I wanted to mention tonight is that we're going to have the other half, part 2 of Tom Lovely's van tour next week, next Thursday. I believe at 6:30, if that's still a good time for everybody. And I'm sure you'll really enjoy it if you tune into that. I did a short of Tom's first tour, and I got more hits on that short than I have in my entire YouTube history, and I've been doing YouTube for quite a while. So apparently there's a lot of interest in a van tour that is uncluttered and friendly, and I can tell you when I'm out there in my van living in my little Sprinter, it's a baby Sprinter, that my biggest enemy is all the clutter. I'm moving. Hello, Efren. Good to thank you for joining us. So I need to use the bathroom and I've got to move something so I can get there. I need to cook something. I have to move something off the counters to get there. I'm looking for this thing, but it's buried back down there. and I can't get to it. And Tom has kind of solved all those problems in a nice Sprinter van. It's just amazing what he's done. So you're going to really want to tune into that. I have kind of a humorous story you might enjoy about little Nix, who's just pitching a fit right now. She was out crying and bitching one night, and I went out to the hallway, and here are Breckenridge police, and they said, "We have a report of a woman screaming." And of course, that was little Nixie. Hello, oh hello, thank you for the hearts, we appreciate it. That was little Nixie screaming, and so I said, "Oh, the apartment down the hallway, they were having a domestic fight," and they had been earlier that night. So what am I going to say? My cat has been pitching a fit and screaming. So it is kind of a humorous story, and Nixie and I go way back. She is just a wonderful cat to me, and has given me 4 years of probably some of my happiest times. And she goes on all my adventures with me. And I even hate to go to the doctor or to the grocery store without her. But because she's such a beautiful, beautiful Bengal cat, I'm afraid somebody will steal her. And so I have to be really careful what I do with her and where I take her and where I leave her. And I choose those situations with extreme care, because people are just weird. They'll break your window claiming they're following California law that you can't leave an animal in a hot car, but really they want the animal, and they're not a bit worried about the animal being in a hot car. And so you have to be careful about those things. And I do travel Arizona, California, Utah, Nevada, New Mexico, Texas, and I'm hoping to see other states here shortly. I'd like to go up the West Coast to Oregon and Washington and see my friends. John Crowder's over there, he's a van guy, and Robert's over there on the road with Robert, or from the road with Robert, I'm not sure. And so there are a lot of people out that I like to meet. This is a wonderful lifestyle. I can tell you my most isolated period. Thank you, Efren. My most isolating period is when I'm not in my van. It's really hard for me to meet other people. I'm an older guy, and I'm not involved in a lot of groups. I can't be because I'm not here long enough. And so you miss out. And I'm certainly not going to go to the senior citizens home and sit around and go, wah, wah. That's just not me, and I'm not making fun of those that do, but it's not my thing. And maybe someday in the future it will have to be my thing. I think we all kind of get to that stage. So anyway, getting back to Nova Tron, I had heard some things about him and was passing by at Van Aid, and he was there, and I said, "Hey, are you going to give me a tour?" And he did give me a tour, and it really wasn't the bus that I toured, it was Nova Tron. It was the guy with an alternative lifestyle, and I love alternative lifestyles. And it doesn't mean that every time I see an alternative lifestyle, I'm going to live that way. All it means is that I'm interested in seeing how other people are living their lives and what they're choosing to do. And if anybody's out there and they've got a bus, an interesting bus, or they know of an interesting place, please get in touch with me, because I love doing videography. I love creating the videos, and I love to bring other people along. There are a lot of people who can't get out, and for a long time I thought this thing was going to limit me, this oxygen hose here. I thought that was going to limit me and I wouldn't be able to leave. And I decided to say, screw you, doctors, I'm going to do what the hell I want to do. I'm not going to live my life to put your kids through college. I'm going to live my life the best I can, and we're all terminal. Hello, Blue Goose. Good evening from St. Augustine. You know, I want to go to Florida. I'm nervous about going to Florida because I'm nervous about finding places to park. I'm one of those guys, I hate getting the knock in the middle of the night, and it seems like I always do. I did in Texas from a very, very friendly policeman. But another story, you'll really enjoy this. My first police encounter in Port Aransas, Texas, the guy pulled me over, and what do you think he pulled me over for? Anybody guess? Driving too slow. You can't make this stuff up, you know. It's just crazy what they do and the aggressive nature of the drivers out there today and the road rage that's going on. And it's supported by the police. Little Nixie is screaming. Come on, darling. Say hello. You're on camera. Come on, darling. Say hello. Well, she's eternally camera shy. It is enormously difficult to get a video of little Nix when she's out and about, because the minute you whip out the camera, she ducks, and I don't know why. It's like she knows that I'm shooting her, and normally we have a moderator, and they can help me with the comments. Tonight, my moderator wasn't able to come, and so that happens sometimes. And so I'm trying to moderate and talk at the same time, and that's really hard to do. I'm really hoping to grow this YouTube channel. Unfortunately, YouTube, I think I can say it honestly, YouTube is not supporting creators the way they used to. What they're supporting is 15-second to 1-minute shorts, and they don't, unless you're one of these really big channels like Bob Wells or Sailing Zatara or Sailing Nahoa, one of these enormous channels. YouTube doesn't seem to be sponsoring us or putting our stuff out, and it's really sad. YouTube is changing. I think maybe they had to change their business model in competition with TikTok and so many of the other ones, and so it's really, really difficult to get your videos out. You can help us by pushing the like. If we get enough people on here, we'll continue the video, but usually it takes, oh, come on, Nix. What's the matter, darling? She's really, really distressed tonight, Miss Nix. She's quite the character, and as I said, my consummate traveling companion. So I keep wanting to go back to the Nova Tron video. I thought that it was going to just explode and we would have 1 million views on it, just because he's so interesting. He's a guy who has a courage to live his life the way he wants to live his life. And most people are just petrified of living their lives the way they want to live them. Peachy Butterflies, hello, make America great again. And it's really, really unfortunate that we have to live in the way other people think that we should live. For example, people my age should be settling down, or we should be becoming established, and we should be trying to find a way to be more rooted. And I think that's just a bunch of crap. Go live your life. You worked all your life. You're working all your life. You're spending your life. You never know when it's your time. Your time is going to come. And you're out here living the life that everybody tells you you should live, instead of living the life that you want to live. And Nova Tron lives the life that I think he wants to live. And as I said, he is struggling with some issues. So some medical issues, and again, I'm not able to tell you exactly what those are, but he did kind of confide in me, and after that, I really understood why he wasn't able to participate. I did invite him to participate, but the poor guy really has his hands full, and my heart's out with him. So if you have a chance, be sure to tune in on that video, and you can help me the most by liking that video and then share it with a friend. That's the best way to help a YouTube creator. We're not necessarily looking for money. You know, it would be great to have all people, patrons and all that kind of stuff, but it's not required. What helps us the most is for people to like and to share and to subscribe. And it's interesting, I was looking at my YouTube demographics, and roughly 90% are from unsubscribed people. So is that to say the people that are subscribing to me are bored, or they don't want to tune in, but everybody else does? I don't know. I think it's more likely that the percentage of unsubscribed people that could see your video compared to the people who are subscribed is so much larger. I mean, obviously we don't have. Well, thank you, Efren. John says that he has subscribed, and I really appreciate it. It does really help a lot in the metrics. And so maybe one day we'll grow this channel and we'll be able to get the message out. And what message is that? I call it the See the World Tour. And the See the World doesn't mean that you have to go to Argentina or Europe or Africa. See the World means that you've got to get out. And maybe your See the World is only the US, or maybe it's part of the US, or maybe it's like Snow and Kurt and you're doing down to Argentina and then you're going to go to Europe. It doesn't really matter how you see the world. I think the important thing is that you see the world, that you live your life, that you tune out the message that people are trying to give us that say, no, you can't do that, you're too old, you're too infirm, you need to be stable, and just tell them, hey, I worked my whole life. I've put in my time, and now it's time for me to go enjoy life. And if you don't want to come with me, and I have people in my life, and they're unable to come, they're rooted, they've got families, they've got school, they have all these other things, and they can't come. That's fine, I respect that, but let me go. Let me go and enjoy myself and get the most out of life that I possibly can. And that's my message. Let's go see the world together. Well, guys, I want to thank you all for tuning in. Please check out Nova Tron. He's on my YouTube, the way you get there, at Traveling Timothy on YouTube, and it should come right up. Also, next week, we're going to have Tom Lovely's second part of his van tour. That guy has done an incredible job designing a van that he built from scratch. It's a Sprinter van, an older Sprinter van, I think a 2003 Sprinter. He bought it for nothing. He put a considerable amount of money into it, about a year of labor into it, but he did just a phenomenal job of making it a practical place. It's not a camping place. Tom comes out and he has all of the luxuries that he has in his house. He says life is so much more simpler. He gets to meet 1 million people, and Tom is one of those guys he really needs. He's a extrovert, as Bob Wells would say, and he really needs to be out and meeting people, and he gets to do that. So next week we have that second half of the interview, and then we have another kind of next level tour of Slab City, and I'm going to interview the House of Dot's gal. Her name is Dot, and she's very interesting. I also interview Wizard from East Jesus. They say he's so far out, he's in East Jesus. Very interesting guy, and those people have art parks, in California. And I show you a little bit of what they have, not too much, because you really got to go there to see it. And then I stop at the range and also the hot springs in Slab City, and that'll be coming out, I think, in 3 weeks. And so we'll go from there. So I want to thank you all for joining in and being part of the See the World Tour, and spread the word, guys. Let's keep it up. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye. And up comes the finger, and boom.